some people like to be around people who just tell them what they want to hear. And you don't grow being around people like that.
Y'all, welcome to Things Hope For. We are so happy to have you here with us. And you know it's going to be another bomb episode. But before we really get into it and our beautiful guest for today, what are you doing? Have you subscribed yet? Are you liking this video? Have you joined the THF fam? We need you to join us. Look, if you're looking for inspiring, motivational content to guide you through a lifestyle of faith, that's what we're here for. Keyword Things Hope For. Hello there, somebody. So go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. And today, y'all, we're getting into it. We're talking about style, fashion, identity. I mean, honestly, and everything in between, okay? So we got our girl today, Christen. Yes. Stylist galore, okay?
I like that.
Girl, yes. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Set up. So I'm excited.
Wow, we're happy to have you. I was like laughing because I thought your accent was so cute. Where are you from? Why don't you tell us? Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. Love it. We've had a lot of Baltimore guests this season. Yeah, like it's been back to back. So, okay, Baltimore in the house. I actually want to move to Baltimore.
I think I'm gonna be telling me that too.
We're here with it. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, so we want to get to know you. All right. We got 3 random questions. Okay. Don't be too scared. Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. 100%. We want to know who you are. Let's get into it. Question 1. What's the strangest talent you have?
The first thing that came to my mind was that I can like move my tongue weird. I don't know. I feel like everybody can do that though. I don't know, but like that's like the weirdest thing that I can do.
I love how you displayed it.
Other stuff
I love that you gave us an example. That is fantastic. Can you do the thing where you tie the cherry? I don't know how people do that.
I feel like I've done that before too.
Look at you. Okay, party tricks. Okay, all right, a little jealous. All right, cool. If you could have any job in the world for 1 week, what would it be?
There's so many things that I thought I wanted to do. That's a hard one. My first thought was like a real estate agent, selling $1 million home.
Period.
But then I also love the aspect of like staging and like home decor.
Ooh, yes.
So those are my top 2.
Okay. And that's not too far from what you already do as far as styling.
It all goes hand in hand.
It would have just been in the same lane. That's dope. If it were me, I feel like, my highest self would be an astronaut. My highest self.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know about now, but my highest self would be an astronaut. I just think one, I love nature, and I think like to literally like see what the world looks like outside of itself would be so dope. But there you go, that part. I don't watch too much Alien versus Predator, child. I don't think that would be for me. Yeah. Kudos to all the astronauts out there. Y'all are doing the Lord's work. Honestly, truly. I mean, we love it. What is your most irrational fear?
I believe I had 2. Being poor and broke and living outside of a box. So living in a box on the street. Aaron is laughing, but like I'm dead. And like falling on my face and like just messing up my entire face for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Not having.
Like you got a nose and the nose went like this.
Yeah, like all the things.
That's not great. In the name of Jesus, okay? Your money maker will continue to make money in Jesus' name. Yes. Please.
What are yours?
Oh man. Okay, so my irrational fear, I have a strange one. I have an irrational fear that I will meet one of my exes like in the most random place and I will be looking toe up from the floor up. And that could never happen. That could never happen. I need to be looking, if we're at a gas station, I need to be looking head to toe gorgeous. And it's not even like I care about them. I really don't. But like, it's just, I don't know. It's just something about, I guess, somebody who's known you to a certain level of intimacy. And it's like, you just look like you ain't advanced. I can never look like I did in advance. No, I have to look like, I mean, for lack of better words, I'm better without you, to be honest. Exactly. It's petty, but that's an irrational fear of mine. Judge me if you want to. It's an irrational fear. Oh, man, dope. So we got to know you a little bit better. Yes. And we want to know you some more. So, I mean, you're a style girly. You do this, okay? Like professionally, y'all, okay? Professionally, that part. I would love to know. Well, first off, let me start off with our anchor verse. So y'all know we always have an anchor verse on here. And if you have your Bibles, please turn to it with me. It's Matthew 9:16-17, and it reads, "No one sews a patch of unstrung cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skin will burst. The wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved." I love that verse because I think when, you and I were talking, I was basically like, oh my gosh, I hate my clothes. What does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. And like the words that kept coming to me was like, I feel like everything is just old, right? And that's when this verse came to mind. And I was doing some research. I was like, I don't even know if I need to go this deep, but I did go this deep and like looked up, okay, new wineskins. How do people make wineskins? How did they used to make it back in that time? And really the science behind it is that when there's new wine, it hasn't fermented yet, but it's going to begin to ferment, it needs to be put into new wineskins because only new wineskins have the ability to expand at the rate of like the gases inside of the new wine when it's fermenting. So you can only put new wine into new wineskins. When the old wineskin is old, it's already stretched. It's already been used. So that's why it bursts when there's new wine inside of it. And I thought that was interesting because I was like, oh, at first when I know this verse, it made me feel like, oh, well, like the old wineskin, if it's old, just throw it away. But the old wineskin doesn't actually have no purpose. The old wineskin can still be used for old wine. It just can be used for old wine. You can't put new wine in there, but you can put old wine in there. But new wine has to be put into a new wineskin. And I think it just really kind of spoke to me about when God does something new. Anytime you see God do something new in the Bible, when it's new, it replaces the old. It's not next to it. It doesn't partner with the old. Like it replaces the old. And so it just kind of spoke to me about when you want newness, it's a replacement. It's not both and. So I wanted to kind of like explore that with you and maybe even like find out the reasons why, like me personally, I feel strange in these old clothes. But really going back to you and your experience as a professional stylist, when you have a client like me that comes up to you and says, I want to feel new. What is it that you're reading from that? Especially since it's like such a vague, I guess statement. But what is it that you're reading from that? What is it that you get from that?
Yeah, I mean, we always first start by acknowledging, what they've experienced to really understand why they even decided to make this decision to work with a stylist. I feel like working with a stylist for some people, well, for the average person, is so far-fetched at times. And it's so interesting because it's 2024. Like people have been styling and doing the thing for years, but still there are so many people who just think that this service or this experience is only for people who are celebrities or like if you're doing certain things. But no, everyday people can use some assistance when it comes to dressing themselves. And that doesn't mean that they don't know how to. It doesn't mean that they don't have the proper resources. It just means they want a new perspective, because we've all been our own stylists for our entire lives.
Yeah,
for the most part.
True.
So having someone come in who is an expert to assist them is just a whole different ball game. So we talk about, what they've experienced. We talk about some of their goals, what they're wanting to like work towards, and all the things, and just really make everything make sense. I feel like they're coming to me not because they want something new, but also because they don't really know how to navigate the space that they're in. They're transitioning. They're going through a change that they've never gone through before. So when you're doing that, a lot of emotions come up. Fear, anxiety,
oh, that's good.
Depression,
that's
all
good.
the things, because you're just in a new space and you're still doing the same things you were doing before. So when you're in a new space and you're not really sure what to do, that's when you ask for help. So these women are vulnerable enough to ask for help. They know who to go to, or at least they think they know. And then they meet me, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to you. And then we just build a relationship from there, because that's what being a stylist to me is all about. Like, in order for me to properly serve my audience, I have to get to know them. I have to understand, their likes, their dislikes, but also like their everyday life, like their lifestyle, and all the things, in order for me to properly serve them.
You've been through a lot of transitions, especially like, you were sharing about like your struggles, like settling into your career and things like that. And so I wanted to know, like, were there pivotal moments in your life where your faith informed your style, and how did it inform your style?
Yeah, I mean, so many moments I can think about. I feel like it started in college, where I was a broke college student, didn't have a ton of money, didn't have a job, didn't have a car. So I was kind of forced to like get my style or shop at a discount or go to secondhand places like thrifting and things. And it was a full circle moment for me, because I know when my mom used to take me thrifting, I used to hate it so much. I just didn't like wearing old clothes. I wanted something new.
Right.
But at the time, I just didn't understand that although they aren't new pieces, they're new to me. And that was, for me, just a full circle moment when I got older, where I fully understood like sustainability. I understood secondhand and just recycling pieces in fashion. I feel like fashion, I know that fashion is such a wasteful industry.
Girl.
And it has been for years.
From everything to dyes, fabrics, to like literally everything,
So and I don't recycle. So the one thing that I can do for the earth is to continue doing what I'm doing.
We love the honesty.
I'll get into it when I
right.
But like my one way of like helping the earth is doing what I'm doing as a stylist. And that's curating capsule wardrobes, which are sustainable.
That's good.
Helping women to save money by investing in pieces that they can get more wear out of. And just making better intentional decisions when it comes to style. I've never been the type to like hold on to things. I've always like let stuff go. It's always been easy for me to do that,
good.
Which I'm thankful for, because I know it's very hard for some women to let go of things, because there's so many reasons why we hold on to stuff. That's a whole nother conversation.
I'm gonna tap into that anointing, the let go anointing. I'm gonna tap into that. Yep.
But so many like transitions, like you mentioned, really helped to like, I guess, grow my faith and just help me to like pivot in different ways that I never thought that I could. College was one of them. My career was another. Just being let go from jobs, being jobless and trying to figure out my next move. Not having clients in my business, having to rebrand my business. I've rebranded my business quite a few times. So just really, like you said, trying to find my footing in my career, and just my journey has definitely been a roller coaster, but I'm still here because of my faith. So I'm thankful for that.
Wow. I think one of the things too that was like so beautiful about your story was, I love that you said, you couldn't control what happened to you, but you could control your style. And so it was almost like there's a resilience that your faith informed in your style. And what was like your mindset? Because anybody else could have just accepted, hey, I'm a broke college student. I'm gonna be wearing sweatpants and Crocs all day long. this is it. This is life. Why do I need to dress up or anything like that, whatever. But what was your mindset? What do you feel like was different with you? Why did you feel the need to, like to not live your experience, to not look like your experience?
I mean, I just felt like it was something that was instilled in me as a child. I always used to steal my sister's clothes. My father is very fashionable.
Wait, what age are you? The youngest, the oldest? Because I'm the oldest. Okay. And so all of them steal from me, including my brother. You would think if you have a brother, no, he comes and steals my pants. Yeah, so, all right.
That's hilarious. I mean, and me and my sister are 9 years apart. So,
wow.
Like, my parents didn't plan to have me. Like, it just happened. So, I mean, I would do all these things, and I just didn't really pay attention to it, I guess, until I got older and really understood, like, I never wanted to look like what I've been through. I've always wanted to show up as my best self. I always loved fashion and style. And I was talking about this earlier, but I'm like, there were times I remember being at school and like hating my outfit. Yeah. And like having just a bad day because I hated my outfit so much. And you would think like, oh, that's so like materialistic or like shallow, but it's not. Like it really just shows you how important how you look can affect like your emotions, your physical, like your well-being, your mindset. And for me, it was happening to me as a child. So just imagine now as an adult, like it's a completely different ballgame. Yeah. So it's even more important to me now. I mean, and I can go days looking crazy, like that's fine. But obviously I'm not gonna go into certain spaces looking a certain way because I want to make sure that I'm, impacting people. I want to make sure I'm serving and I'm doing all the things even without me talking. Like, I want people to feel like myself and see my light with what I'm wearing. Yeah. I want people to come to me and talk to me. Period. I'm never gonna be.
No, for real, but you could use your style as a form of networking. I do that all the time. Yeah, it works. Yes, it works. No, that's really dope. Talk to me more about you went through transitions and it informed and really like set up your differentiator, your value in your styling business. And now what I love too is it's like you have a knack now for serving other women who are going through transitions, whether that's career or whether that's a lifestyle change or whatnot. So I wanted to kind of like tap into that, like that's your specialty. And really kind of just exploring the struggle of a transition. And I think the struggle of a transition is the releasing of something old to embrace something new. And it's hard to release the old because like we're comfortable with it. Like we're comfortable. It's what we know. So we're comfortable with it. The new is the thing that we don't know, just like you had mentioned before. And so that's the struggle. But I think the danger too in that struggle is the reality that you can stay there. If you don't make a decision, you can stay in the transition. Transition times are fleeting, especially when God, like when you see in evidence of the Bible, like even just, again, taking, let's say the Red Sea, when he parted the Red Sea, you go ahead and stay in that Red Sea if you want. There was a time limit of when he was going to open it up and close it back up. Yeah. So you're either going through or you're at the other end of the side. And I mean, hey, God help you. You probably was swimming with the Egyptians. But there's a time frame on the transition and there's a decision that has to be made. And if there's no decision made, then you're stuck there. So I wanted to kind of like pick your brain about this concept, and even just Ephesians 4:22 through 24 talks about it, because even when you see in the Bible, like, this idea of, like putting off the old man and embracing the new man. So putting off old attitudes, old ways of thought, old mentalities, old thoughts to embrace the new man that we are in Christ. I wanted to ask you, what have you seen have been the best ways, or how would you advise us to release the old so that we can really take hold of the new, especially since like fashion is evident in that? You mentioned it before that like releasing like some of our sentimental things can be so hard, but what have you found that works in being able to embrace the newness?
So simply just acknowledging the old, and
that's good.
You know, what we've experienced, what we've gone through, why we feel the way that we feel about certain things. I feel like we constantly try to suppress those feelings or suppress, you know, what we've experienced because we're ashamed. But it's just
all right.
We have to acknowledge it.
That's good.
Get therapy, get help. Like I said, I'm not a therapist. So please get a therapist, get someone who understands, you know, what you've gone through. And even if they don't understand, they can guide you through that understanding or that challenge that you're going through. And to get rid of things. I mean, sometimes you just gotta push yourself to do it. Like you gotta just rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Right, true.
Because I mean, if you don't, you're like you said, you're gonna
be stuck. Yeah.
In that transition. So it's hard to do those things alone. So when you hire an expert,
that's really good.
It's that friend that doesn't. It's not a yes man.
Yeah.
It's an honest, truthful friend that tells you what it is, like it's supposed to be told to you.
Right.
And they're honest about things. So I think that's the biggest thing too. Some people like to be around people who just tell them what they want to hear. And you don't grow being around people like that, or even just hear what you want to hear.
All right.
And that's the type of friend that I am. I think that's why I only have like 5 friends. Because people just can't handle it.
Yeah.
And for a long time, a lot of people called me mean or like bossy. Like I've been called these things as a child growing up. It's so many different names I've been called, but that was one of the main ones that stuck with me. And I wasn't always considered that. At one point I was a goody two shoes. At one point I was too nice. Like all of these things, and it's never gonna be like the perfect. I can't be nice and mean it's just a little bit of everything. Yeah. Is in there depending on who I'm talking to or what situation that I'm in. But like we all need a friend, I feel like me.
Yeah. Period.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I may not say what you want to hear, but I'm gonna say what is needed for you to hear.
Yeah, what's in your best interest.
Yeah. I mean, I do need to work on my delivery. That's something that
at least you're aware of that.
I wasn't at one point, but I have friends that let me know.
Yeah.
What's the deal? So, but aside from that, like surround yourself with people who are gonna tell you like it is, and say it in a way that you can receive it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so harsh all the time.
A lot of things that we think just our style, like you just pick something cute and that's it. You're showing us that there's more to that. There's self-awareness, there's community, there's therapy, and all of these things help you to have sustained style. That style, y'all be quoting Chanel so much, but I don't think people really have tapped into that Chanel style. Like, you know what I'm saying? So all of the tips that you've been sharing are to help us past just cute, like trending, really, and more so longevity in your style. And it makes me think about like, just the aspect of rebranding yourself. I think like that's a term I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, like, you know, how to rebrand yourself, your archetype to rebrand yourself and all these things and whatnot. But I feel like a lot of us, and you can tell me like what your experience has been and what you've seen, but what I've seen is like when we think about rebranding ourselves, we think about, okay, let me get together a Pinterest board with all my favorite style girlies and all the people who I admire their style. And because they look good in it, like I perceive I'm gonna look good in it, right? Because I like their style. And what I feel tends to happen is, though that might work for a little bit, we were talking about sustainability, right? That might work for a little bit, but at some point, it gets tired on you because you might have copied homegirl style, but you didn't copy the confidence that she carried that style with. And then that's what and then it starts to feel odd on you. So before you know it, you style hopping from left to right and right. And I felt like one of the things that I don't want is my closet to be a representation of other people rather than of myself. I don't want it to feel like a curated collection of other people. Yeah. I want it to feel like me. And I think that like that's something that we often kind of like lack when we're thinking about rebranding ourselves. And so I wanted to ask you, because I really loved the mission that you have as a part of your business, which is aligning the inner and the outer self. So can you talk to us more about that? And specifically since, you know, you really do be doing like style therapy work, but I wanted to ask, what are some inward works that like you often see need to be done in order to really achieve this confident style and a style that's our own?
Yeah. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I feel like some of the pieces that are the most important are just loving on your body, and loving on your body as it is.
Wow.
I like to ask my clients like, what is it that you love about your body? Because we can talk about what we hate all day.
Yeah.
But think about what you actually enjoy and what you love, and focus on that. Focus on accentuating that. And I feel like because you're so focused on that, you're not then worried about.
That's so good.
Like.
That's so good.
So that's one thing. And also too, like really understanding what my clients like. I feel like so many of them don't know what they like, but I give my clients pre-work. I give them pre-work. Some of them are journaling prompts. Some of them are exercises.
Okay, journaling prompts.
Yeah, journaling has definitely been
wow
that I've done.
Yeah,
and continue to do every single day. And it's been helpful to me, so I know it's helpful to other women.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the journaling prompts and the exercises. So I encourage them to go into their closet, similar to what I asked you to do.
Wow.
Pick out 5 pieces that you love and pick out some items that you don't love. And go through them. You know, why don't you love these pieces? Is it because the fabrication? Is it because the fit? Is it because the pattern? Or why do you love these pieces?
Yeah.
And I can ask the same list of questions. So really understanding what you love versus what you don't love, I think is important too. And there's so many other things that go into it, but just actually allowing the client to not be their own stylist, but kind of think of their style in a different way, in a different perspective, so that they can have a better understanding of, you know, what they like and what they're looking for.
That's so good, because you're touching on something that I'm currently going through right now. I don't remember what episode I mentioned it in, but just the concept of having a better relationship with your body, because at the end of the day, that's what you put in the clothes on. That's what you put in the clothes on. And I think one thing I'm going through is like after I turned 30, that same weight that used to go, it just fall off, is not falling off as much anymore. It's not falling off. It's taking a little bit more to fall off, and that's new for me. And so I'm in this space where, because I'm also one of them people where it's like, all right, I may have the funds to do a whole shopping spree, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until I lose these 15 pounds and then I'm gonna, do it. But the other side of the thought too that I have is, like, God forbid you go tomorrow. Right? Like all these things that you're putting off to do because you know you'd enjoy them. All these things you're putting off to do. Why? Yeah. When are you going to enjoy them? And at the end of the day, it's just clothes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter the cost per wear, it's gonna wear at some point. So, I guess I'm walking through this like kind of breaking of that where it's like, you don't have to wait for this perfect body before you treat yourself to, like what it is that you want to look like and where it is that you want to be. And so really just kind of understanding that like that relationship with our body is such a huge part with styling. I want to know, do you have any kind of like stories with your clients or even like with yourself where it's like you really saw that when that relationship was connected, like there was a catapult of just amazing results or even transformation in their life?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely speak on myself.
Yeah.
My own experiences. There were always things that I never really loved about my body.
Yeah.
I got made fun of as a child, specifically my chest. And that's something for a long time that I did not feel confident about. Everybody else, they were starting to buy bras.
Yeah.
and I could see the change in their body, and I still looked exactly the same as I did when I was in elementary school. And people would always say like, oh, you can get surgery or you can do this. And it's like, why would I want to do that? Like, I mean, God didn't create me this way for just nothing.
Yeah.
It was obviously for a reason. And I know I'm not the only woman out here that has a smaller chest.
Yeah.
So it's just acknowledging that and understanding that. And I know for me, once I stopped caring about it, like I really just fell into place. And not just like physically, but mentally too. Like I just feel like it's the older you get, the less you care about the stuff that you used to care about.
True.
So age played a part in that too.
True.
And just knowing that this wasn't gonna change. And it might, like when I have kids,
right?
We'll see. That'll be a whole new like
experience, everything. Oh my gosh, yep.
But for now, you know, this is what I have. So I'm gonna just work with what I have and keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's so good. Girl, are you ready for some styling? Because I'm ready. Y'all, we're actually gonna get into just getting to experience what Christen does in real life, in real time. I'm her test dummy today, so I'm so excited. No, but I think that what was so beautiful about this verse, I really started to see you as the wineskin designer, is like what I called it, because what you're doing as these women are going through transformation is that they are becoming new wine, and they need a new wineskin to be stored in. And you're helping them build up that new wineskin. So I loved that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is that she's doing. So I'm excited for this segment because you're going to really walk us through how you're building that and give us some takeaways to like see, okay, what needs to go away, what needs to stay, or what needs to be added on into the future. So I'm so grateful you're going to walk us through that and give us these tips. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Let's get into it. Listen.